was out here working, getting a little bit done. Slow around here just because I'm waiting on parts and because it's cold out. I'm gonna show you guys this week an old video from back when I first got the Nova and summer of 2020. So we'll do like a little transition. So a really special tool to get these clips off is my door puller 5000. You just loop it around and there, it clips off now. There it is. Just a rag. And there's our clip. See the science behind using the rag to get these clips off is you have to let the rag grab onto this little prong. So you just work it into where it kind of grabs, snags that, and as you pull it around, the clip just falls out of place. They make special tools you can buy for it, but why would you want to do that? Also, it works especially well if your rag's real greasy and dirty, but not required. And these guys, if you didn't know, they just unscrew, just lefty tighty, righty loosey. You have all the hardware off, you just have a couple clips behind here that you just pop out, and the whole thing just lifts straight up. And then up here on this edge, it just kind of hooks in. Oh, actually, thought we were missing a screw earlier when I looked originally, but it's just way embedded in there from whoever put it in before. Okay, and it's loose now. That's factory. Also, don't forget to snag your spring off of here. You'd hate to have to buy a new one from year one. They'd probably charge you like $500 for the spring. Taking a look at the inside of this door skin, you know, it looks worse for the wear. Notes on this door card on this side, you'll notice it is a lot more weathered than the other side. One note I didn't take on the other side is where this screw goes, the plastic around it was actually cracked. So whenever I took the rest of the armrest off, this screw and plastic was still attached to here. That means we'll have to get a new right hand armrest. But just looking at it, the sun has gotten so bad to it, and the frame of it is actually pretty bad too. So most likely we'll need new door cards, new armrest. And actually looking at these, get a close up so we can kind of capture what style they are. But just the pitting and everything that's in here, we might be better off actually buying a reproduction of these handles and these rollers, because re-chroming them might actually be more expensive than just replacing them. But we'll gather some detail so we have it of the actual door card so we get the correct style. But one thing to mention, even if we are replacing these door cards and this armrest, kind of a golden rule that I like to abide by is I don't throw anything away until I'm absolutely certain I don't need it, and usually for me that means that I don't throw anything away until it's done, because you never know. Like with this Nova, things are going to be fairly easy to find, but with some cars that are more obscure, that's not the case, and you may need to either gather information like this off of it, or you just may want to look at it so that you have to, if you have to reproduce the part yourself or come up with something custom, at least you have the old part to go off of. So we'll keep all these parts until we're absolutely done. As I'm unscrewing the other side, it actually just broke, so Yeah, just be mindful, all these old plastic parts are just so brittle. But we're still gonna bag it, even though it's broken. Gonna keep everything, just so we have reference. If you're wondering how these clips and handles work, how they stay on, essentially this clip just presses in to these two little grooves, and then it sits inside those grooves like so. These two little inner tabs are what hold it onto that stem that it plugs into. I will say the rag trick works pretty good for getting it on or getting them off, but I didn't realize, and I hate to admit how long it took me to realize, that you don't have to have a special tool to put these back on. All you do is put the clip in place and then push the handle onto the door. The clips will go on, but you just can't pull them off. Okay, and here's the inside of that door. I'm not sure if you had heard, but yesterday he did say this window was broken. I had thought he had meant the glass was broken. Turns out he just meant the window's not rolling up and down. I saw that whenever I was taking the store panel apart, because I could see the glass right here. Sorry, right here. But then I tried to crank it, noticed it was not moving up and down. So that tells me something in this mechanism that rolls it up and down is just disconnected. So most likely a simple fix, and luckily the glass is not broken. So we can see if we crank the window, the gears right here are rolling. So that tells us the failure is further down the line. You can see the glass right here, and we can see this little bumper. That's what, when the glass lowers down, it rests on this little piece of rubber. So basically there's supposed to be an armature in there, so we'll just have to figure out where it's disconnected. Well, what do you know? I think that's the problem. I don't think that's supposed to be off of there. We crank this one all the way down. We notice there's the other end of this gear plate. It's down here. And there's a little wheel that sits in this channel. And this channel is installed to the bottom of the glass. So you just have to figure out how this channel installs to the glass. Actually, what I'm seeing is that channel, this channel is supposed to be installed to this little rail right here. And the way it's installed, I was hoping there were fasteners. There's not. It's actually tack welded. You can see the little remnants of the tack weld right here. It's tacked on both ends. So it looks like what we'll have to do is physically lift that glass out of here, out of the top of the door, retrieve that channel off of the glass, and then tack weld it back on at each end, and then drop it back down in place and put this little roller right here back into that groove, and that should fix it. So here's my parts pile so far. I've got both the door cards, with both of the pieces of insulation. We can buy new of those. But both the pieces of insulation, both the door cards, and both sets of hardware for both the left and right hand doors. Inside those, I have both the door handle and the window crank. the armrest, and all of the hardware for both the armrest and the window crank and the door card. Just hiking up to the Hollywood sign after eating Randy's donuts. I'm not gonna throw up. After seeing how steep this trail was, I might be reconsidering going all the way, and I'm sure I can just zoom in on the sign, it'll look fine. Getting closer. I'm gonna die. Pretty sure I'm gonna get eaten by the mountain lions. Is it getting further away now? I keep hearing like animals running by. Pretty sure I'm gonna get attacked. It is pretty majestic.